We're looking at the field that we first passed when we came in
Yep.
to your farm. And so what do we see growing here?
This field is a mix of crops. We have some Catalonia, which is an Italian dandelion. And then at the end of this bed, there is the gem lettuces, which I really love. They have a really nice dense core. This is a speckled romaine and then a loose leaf green lettuce that's bred to stand up to summer heat. So that'll probably be in the shares towards the end of July. Nice long bed of scallions there, which you're getting this week and you'll get again. We try to rotate through the alliums. This bed is that variegated Chioggia radicchio that I was talking about in the greenhouse. It's our summer radicchio. And then here we have four or five beds of purple and orange cauliflower, which is one of my favorite crops to grow. They're so beautiful to harvest, and I find that they're really great for kids that might be picky vegetable eaters to have a fun color on the plate. Purple cauliflower is like one of my soul vegetables that just makes me so happy to harvest. We grew tons of brassicas for a really long time and have slowed down on our brassica production because of a pest that's come into Vermont from Canada called swede midge that has been a management challenge. So we grow a lot smaller amount of brassicas now and grow them for Muddy Boots members, but have had to drop some of the more prone vegetables like broccoli. And Justin's handling broccoli production for Muddy Boots now. He has a lot more land to spread out on. So swede midge is not a very good flyer. So if you can move your crops a mile away, your brassica crops, it's probably not going to spread from field to field, which in his land base, that like long, thin river valley, he really can manage a lot of pests that way. I farm 7 acres. My land base is 25 acres, and there's really not that much room to move around. So I just have to grow really small blocks of brassicas so that when I move them, it's not, a whole field from here to there is not quite enough rotation, but a small block from here to our furthest away field gives us a little bit more flexibility.
In the ideal world, when would we be getting those cauliflowers?
These will probably be late September, I would say. Maybe beginning of October. Then there's a couple beds of cabbage, some Savoy cabbage and Napas. And then this is our second generation of green beans. We do green beans for the CSA, and James does Romanos.
Yep. Yeah.
Those will probably be coming in soon. And then under the netting here is our second planting of zucchini. What Will and I were just talking about here is this is our first block of fall carrots. We have 2 beds of earlier carrots. They'll probably be ready. The first bed of carrots will probably be ready in 2 or 3 weeks for the CSA. So we plant successions throughout the year of a bed or 2 in the spring and summer. And then in the fall, we plant big blocks. So this is 6.5 beds. And then we're going to do another huge block of carrots down there for storage. And the way we manage these beds is we flame weed them ahead of planting. Stale seed bed method we make our beds, let them get rained on or irrigate them, get a flush of weeds to come up, and then we burn those weeds off. So there's ideally no weeds in the carrots. And then we seed our carrots, and where these 2 posts are, you plant a couple beet seeds around those posts. And then beets tend to germinate like 24 to 36 hours before carrots. So then we come out here and check the beets. And once the beets germinate, we come through and we flame weed them again and burn off any weeds that have germinated in that time period. So then the carrots are germinating into a nice, clean, weed-free bed because carrots are not very weed competitive. They come up of these tiny little, they almost look like just like a little blade of grass when they first come up. And it takes like another good 10 to 15 days for the true leaves to really come out. And then even then, they're still so tiny and really can get lost in weeds really quickly. So to give them the best chance at life, we just try to eliminate as much competition as possible. And you really don't want to cultivate too aggressively with carrots because you want that taproot to get established nice and straight. And if you're cultivating too aggressively at the beginning and you can knock that taproot out of alignment, you're going to get bent carrots. You can get bent carrots for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the reasons. And so we want to give them their first 2 or 3 weeks in a nice, clean, weed-free seed bed before we come in too aggressively with the tractors. But once they're established, we work them pretty hard and get soil hilled up around them to keep them weed free. Everything's doing so well this year after a couple tough seasons of weather. It's been really astounding to see the fields bounce back from a lot of saturation problems, and the kale is phenomenal, doing really phenomenally well, even with the heat waves we've had. And it's a real testament to our soils are so rich here, and there's such a community of growers helping each other with varieties and planting times, and um, we're really lucky to be able to share all of this with all of our members. I'm really lucky too.